Alright guys, so a little bit of a different vibe today, but still important nonetheless, especially for you younger guys, younger single guys out there. Maybe you're a little bit black pill mindset, maybe you're of the belief that you can't get a woman who's more attractive than you and you have to be a Chad and all this, but if you get outside and you actually touch grass, you'll look around and you'll realize there's actually quite a few couples out there where the woman is definitely more physically attractive than the man. And I am definitely case in point in this. When I met my wife, she was definitely more physically attractive than me. I believe she still is. And she could have had anyone, but she had me. And I probably shouldn't tell you this, but when we first started dating, I was a bit insecure. I was a lot more insecure back then. And I actually came across her diary and I read what she wrote about me when we first met and we first went on a date. And she wrote some nice things, of course, but she also wrote, "He's just okay looking." Yeah, that one killed me reading that one at the time. I thought at least she thought I was good looking, but she thought I was just okay. But I still managed to attract her. 13 years later, married, kids. And that's because I had a few things going for me. And these are the things I'm going to tell you guys how to attract, what's going to help you attract these women that are more attractive. And it doesn't involve money, by the way. I know you're thinking, well, you have money. No, I did have money, and these tips don't involve money. Now, first thing, you've got to keep it realistic. You can't aim for, if you're like a 5 and trying to get a 9. Right? Now, I know all these ratings are subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, of course, but you know, there are people that are more attractive and less attractive, and there is sort of some rough scales we can use, right? So we can generalize. So yeah, if you're like a 4, it's not going to work. I don't think if you're aiming for an 8 or a 9, right? I'm talking more about if you're around about a 6, you can get with an 8, or if you're a 5, you can be with a 7. This is what I'm talking about. So first things first. I'm going to be quick and keep this brief, but first thing I think is you should be in shape. Generally, as basic to that is you just should be in shape. Should be training, should be fit. Now obviously that's going to spark some attraction from your partner on a physical sense, but also what it represents. You're a man who has discipline, who has self-respect, and just even on a subconscious level, a woman will respect you for it if you're in shape. So that's the most basic one. That's the first one. Second one that's very important is you need to be interesting. And in order to be interesting, you need to have interests. You know, you need to read. You need to know about a few things in the world. You need to have some hobbies, some things you do, some interests of your own. So you can hold weight and have interesting conversations and get her mind thinking. And that leads me to the third one, that is you need to be able to stimulate her mentally. Maybe you can't get the butterflies going on a physical level, on an intense physical level, but you can stimulate them mentally. And some of the best women, especially smart women, they love that. Women get turned on up here. And being interesting, having those interests can spark her curiosity and an interest in you. And you need to be, the next thing is you need to be passionate. You have a passion in your life. Whether it is a singular passion, something you're passionate about, you're just passionate in general about life. Passionate about improving, passionate about living, maybe it's travel, maybe it's fitness itself, whatever it is, a passion and passionate about life. Women don't want boring. It can be anything, there's a saying, right? You can be anything to a woman. You can cheat on her, you can abuse her physically, mentally, whatever it is, but you can't be boring. And in order to not be boring, you have to be interesting, you have to be passionate. You have to have a passion. And then I would say the next thing would be She has to see at least potential in you. And in order for you to have potential, you should be ambitious. She's got to buy into that. You might not be where you want to be right now. Maybe she's looking at you and thinking, well, it's not maybe the ideal right now, but I see the potential. I see where he might get to. And I know with my wife, she definitely fell in love with my potential. She saw something that I didn't even see in myself, and she brought that out of me. So you got to be ambitious. You got to be trying to go places, aiming upwards towards a better life, a better you, higher self. So they're the main things, I think. Now I'll keep this relatively brief. As those motorbikes go by, that's where I live, by the way. I live right on these bars. Probably see it there, all the lights. That's a strip of bars and restaurants. And there's an airport right there. Pretty loud around here, but we're right on the beach. But yeah, anyway, they're the main things. They are the main things in my opinion. Get in shape, be interesting, have interests, have a passion, be passionate, and be ambitious, have potential. And I think if you have those things in order, I think you will find it will be actually easier than you think to attract a woman who is maybe physically a bit more attractive than you. What do you think, guys? Love to hear your thoughts on this one.